Good morning. This is Dr. Gail, and welcome to Financial Friday. We will get started in just a few minutes, waiting on people to come into the chat room. We'll get started in a few minutes. Welcome to Financial Friday. Hi. Let me know you're there. Hi, Tisha, my goddaughter from Louisiana. Welcome to the chat. Hey, baby girl. Hey, Tisha. Welcome. You're going to give it about 30 more seconds and then we'll get started. Welcome to Financial Friday with Dr. Gail. Let me know you're there. We're listening to Akia Uwanda singing Motherless Child. And I tell you, sometimes with everything going on, you sometimes feel that way, but we are in this together. We're here to encourage and inspire each other. Hi, Gregory Grant. Welcome from Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed the music, and so welcome to Financial Friday. And I have to give a shout out to Cammie Red. I met Cammie through doing another podcast on wellness, and we were talking about my book, Wisdom from Queens, Volume 3, which you'll find out more about at the end of this. But she was interested in the information that I shared on setting up private family trust and foundations. And so she invited me back to do what we're now calling Financial Friday. And we want to do it at noon because in the middle of your day, if you can take 15 minutes and join us so that we can share wisdom to help you make sure that you're making the most out of the assets that you acquire for you and your family. So with COVID going on and everything that's going on, I know everybody's been in this financial bind, and how are we going to plan for the future? How are we going to get through next week and pay the rent? So one of the things we want to do is talk about me, just a little bit about me. My company is Be Connected, and you can find me at BeConnectedLife.com. It started because a lot of times we don't know what we don't know. And so the B in Be Connected stands for Business, Education, and Enterprise Solutions. And our mission is to connect you with various solutions to help you start your business, grow your business, take your business to the next level, and add and then protect the assets that you acquire while you're doing that. A lot of the challenges we have as small businesses and we know small businesses and mom and pop operations who they build this business and then if something happens, nothing is left. Their legacy is gone. So the mission of Be Connected is to make sure that you're able to protect your assets and structure your legacy and create generational wealth. So I came across this information, and so what we're going to do, I'm going to go over some information briefly with you today, and then each Friday at 12 noon, we want you to come back because we're going to build on each of the pieces of information that I share with you today. Because I tell you, it will change the way you think about finances, and you have to be prepared. You're not going to get it all in 15 minutes. And so we're going to do this each week. Now, they don't teach this to us in school. I just happened to be at the table and heard people talking about this. Somebody asked me had I heard about it. And usually the information I'm going to share with you is shared with people who have the 10 mil rule. They have 10 million in income, 10 million in assets, and 10 million in investment capital. So after sharing and sitting at the table, I said, well, wait a minute, everyday people, like Sly Stone says, everyday people, we need to know about this too. We have family, we have assets, and we want to make sure that our kids and grandkids have finances and generational wealth in the future. And so we've come up through my company who partners with Legacy Management, my company, BeConnectedLife.com. We are presenting this information to you so everyday people can also do what the Bill and Melinda Gates are doing, what Warren Buffett is doing, what Bezos is doing. We have to ask ourselves, how are they doing this and then their tax liability is zero? But yet, on our 1040s, and don't take me there, what is it we're doing that we end up still paying taxes? So a couple of things, and the way we do this is we help people to set up what we're calling complex trust. We don't get taught this in school. We don't hear about it. And let me say this, every entity there is has to pay taxes. So I don't want anybody to leave here saying, oh, I'm going to find out how I don't have to pay taxes. Every entity has to pay taxes. But here's your goal. Your goal is to keep as much of your money as you can and to pay as little in taxes. You want to reduce your tax liability. That's your new word for the day. Reduce your tax liability. And we show you how to do that through a series of interrelated trusts. I'm not a financial planner. I have this information and I think everybody needs to know this. And I think after you hear it, you're going to say the same thing. So how do we do that? There are 4 keys to wealth. So the 4 keys to wealth. The first key is you want to be able to put your money in the correct tax position. For most of us, that's our problem. When we file our taxes, what do? We use a 1040. And so your homework for next week, because next week we're going to go more into depth in putting your money in the correct tax position, which means you then reduce your tax liability. So your homework for next week is to download a copy of the 1040. You probably already have it because you do it every year. And then I want you to download the 1041. Go to irs.gov, download the 1041. What I'm sharing with you is a secret, but it's out there. The information is out there. It just hasn't been shared with us. So for next week, download those 2 forms because we're going to go through them and we're going to talk about the difference. Okay? The next key to wealth is how to protect your wealth. Now, this is something that you really will have to change your mindset. Because what have we been taught? All our lives, we've been taught to own everything. But think about this. Here's your key for today. Write this down. Liability follows ownership. I'm going to repeat that. Liability follows ownership. If you own something, it can be taxed and taken away from you. So one of the things we're going to teach you is that we have to separate personal wealth from business wealth. I know a lot of you like me when I first started my business, all my money was in one account, commingled, etc. You're setting yourself up for liability, which means you can lose everything. So we have to come up with this mindset. We have to separate our personal wealth from our business wealth. And the other thing, own nothing, control everything. And we'll get into that in 2 weeks from now. Own nothing, control everything. And if anybody can, by the next session, tell me who said that and where their philosophy comes through, we have a special gift for you. I'll give you a copy of my book. Who does that quote come from? Own nothing but control everything, because that's going to be your new philosophy. The third step is getting your wealth to work for you. We've been taught that we put our money into the bank and we put it into a savings account and we earn a whopping, like I saw the other day, 0.01% on my money. Now, that's one insulting, and I'm sure you're in the same situation. How much did you earn before that? Yes, Wendy Rockefeller, I owe you a book, said own nothing but control everything. So how many of us have put our money into the bank and then don't ask to go get your money out of the bank because they're going to give you the runaround, or they need 3 days to give you your money back. In the meantime, they're earning X number percentage on your money. So one of the things, another piece of homework, how many of you out there have watched Hamilton on Disney or saw it in person before COVID? Now I want you to watch it. I want you to think about, and we're going to talk about this in the weeks to come, how is our financial system structured? I want you to look at it. I want you to watch the conversation that's had between Hamilton and Jefferson when they're talking about establishing the financial system for the United States. And Washington plays the mic referee in that. And then King George also says, you know, he alludes to, hey, they think this is going to be easy. Our financial system was set up with us being worker bees from the very beginning. In the 1800s, I have quotes and I'll share with you. When they were establishing this system, when they were over in Hamilton and Jefferson was looking at it, and he said, people will wake up on their own continent homeless. And if you think about right now, you have a house, but you don't own it. You have a mortgage with the bank. And if you ever pay it off, you didn't own the land or the mineral rights. So what do we own? We are homeless on our own continent. So we're going to talk about that when we talk about the third step, which is getting your wealth to work for you in vehicles other than letting it sit in the bank. Here's another thing. Money in motion makes money. We've been told to save, save, save. But we're earning 0.01%, or as someone told me, a high yielding savings account of 1.1%. So we'll share with you vehicles that you can earn more interest. Now, let me say this. I'm just sharing financial information. I don't advise or direct you to invest in anything. That's not what this is about. This is about educating people, and then once you have the right information, you can make an educated and informed decision. Money in motion. That's right, Greg. Let's keep money moving and making money. The fourth key to wealth is passing on your wealth. You know, we have families. We want to make sure that there's something there. Usually, most of us, if we become informed, we will have a will set up or maybe a simple trust. But I call those instruments D&D, just distribution when you're deceased. They do nothing for you while you're alive. They give you peace of mind as to what's going to happen to that. But are you aware it has to go through if you have a will or trust, it goes through probate with 22 to 25% going to the person that's doing the probate. And the people who are getting anything out of it have to pay inheritance taxes, etc. So why do that? There's another way to do this, and that's through a series of interrelated complex trusts. And so that's what we're going to share with you, is how to set that up. So I don't want to keep you long. We said we were going to keep this short. I want you to do your homework for next week. Download the 1040 and the 1041. You can also go ahead and download the Schedule K1, because as we go through this, I want it to be interactive. I'm looking to see if you have questions there as we go through. So go to my website. If you can't wait until next week or to go through the 4-week series, Go to beconnectedlife.com. Inbox me if you want information. If you go to that website, you can immediately set up an appointment and we'll do a one-on-one consultation to share more information with you. But we will be here every Friday at noon talking about the 4 keys to wealth. Thank you, Cammie Reed, and I'll see everyone next Friday at noon, same time, same place.